Hey, quick note on professional persistence this morning. I had this happen to me just this week, so I thought it was really relevant. And it's this idea of follow-up. So a lot of times when we're going to do follow-up, we feel uncomfortable with it. We feel like we're going to be annoying with clients and or potential clients. And so we don't make the calls, we don't send the email, we don't send the text. And what happens is we lose those opportunities to our competitors. Here's the reality. 80% of all sales are made after the fifth contact or follow-up, yet most salespeople give up after the first or second. So, in fact, 50% of all real estate leads are never followed up on. So we don't want to fall into that gap trap, right? We want to be somebody that's following up consistently, but we need to think about it in a different way. Professional persistence is different than just being annoying. So I had a guy selling me a product. His name is Matt. And he's been working on this for months and months and months and months. So I get a weekly call, a text, or an email from him, and about 80% of the time I don't respond to him. Sometimes I'll engage, but this week I finally pulled the trigger and set up a meeting where he went through his entire presentation and I pulled the trigger and I bought what he was selling. But that would not have happened without religious follow-up, right? And I don't look at it as a consumer, as him being annoying. I look at him as doing his job. And we do the same thing. We don't look at salespeople and think of them as bad people or terrible people. We just look at them as doing their job when they're following up. And it actually can be very impressive. I had a guy a couple years ago who was a Cutco salesman at Cutco Knives, if you've seen those guys. And he called me probably 100 times to get in front of my team. And I rejected him 99 times until I said yes at the final 100th time. And he was so impressive as a salesperson, just as his commitment, his drive, his ambition, that I brought him in and I had him do a group coaching session with our salespeople just to talk about follow-up. So when you're doing follow-up, there's some rules of thumb though. You want to offer value, and I call this the OVO. So you're offering value of some kind, and then you're offering to help them on some other plane. So for instance, if I'm talking to a buyer, I might say, hey, new listing came on the market this morning. I thought of you guys. I think it might be interesting. If you want me to, I can send you all the comps around the listing before we check in. Any time to go look at it to see what other things are selling for. That's my value. And if you like to, love to go out and show you the house. That's my offer, right? So I offer something, the new listing, I deliver value, some comps around it, and then I'm going to offer to show them the property. And I can do that in any setting. If it's a seller follow-up, I might say, hey, I'm just thinking about you because I'm doing an open house nearby. There's been a couple sales in the neighborhood. Thought I'd shoot them over to you if you'd like, and you can check out what's happening in the neighborhood. By the way, I'd love to stop by and just chat a little bit. We got a couple new marketing pieces that are pretty impressive. So again, offer, value, offer. Always doing that in all my communication. And I should mix up my styles, not just calls, not just texts, not just emails, but a whole mix so that it's not one pathway, right? I'm trying different styles of communication. And that's what worked for me. I got sold this week by a professional salesperson who was using persistent follow-up, right? Professional follow-up. And we have to commit to that. And here's another tool for you that maybe consider is using 5 different systems or styles. So every time you meet somebody new, plug them into your 5-system drip and whatever that's going to be, so that they're going to be dripped on consistently over time. Super, super important. Have a great day. Good selling.